Alright, so this is Paper Mario All Cards. It is the category that requires you to touch every single card. Now the thing that's interesting about it is you don't have to get all the Peach cutscenes, you just have to specifically touch each card. And I say that because there's going to be a glitch later that allows us to actually skip 3 of the Peach cutscenes, and it's going to be really awesome. So in this game, to scroll text, all you have to do is hold B. You luckily do not need to text mash. It's the only game that requires you to only hold the B button to scroll text. So you'll never lose time on text because all you have to do is hold B. Something I should also mention is I am playing in the Japanese version, which is faster due to text with less character on screen, and also some Japanese exclusive glitches that got patched in the English version. And so it saves a couple minutes over the English version. So another thing in this game that the other Paper Mario games didn't do is, in this game, you can spin, which is pretty much the way to do fast movement. At the end of my spin, I'm ending with a jump, because if I were just to spin like that, then there's a little bit of delay there. So to stop that, I just tap jump. But I can also get spin cancels like I'm doing on these stairs, which anywhere I can get a spin cancel is a little bit faster than getting a jump. But for right now, there's not really that many places to get spin cancels, so I just have to tap the jump button, which I don't want to do a full jump, because if I do a full jump, then it wastes a little bit of time. So if you don't know the story to this game, basically, well, Bowser decided to build his castle underground, underneath Peach's castle, and take it into the sky. But not only that, he stole the Star Rod from Star Haven and has captured all 7 Star Spirits. So we will be saving all of them in this category. So the first around 20 minutes of the game is the intro and prologue, which is pretty much your standard tutorial of this game. So there will be a couple glitches I can perform in prologue, but other than that, it's not too many things. It's just a bunch of tutorials. So this fight coming up is scripted. I can't win no matter what. Even if I were to hack to win, it would just crash if I beat Bowser. So while I'm jumping, I am mashing A, and if you basically mash A or press A on a specific frame, you will get what is called a quick jump, which lets Mario jump a little bit faster and just saves a couple frames. Bowser's gonna power up with the Star Rod, and he is quote-unquote invincible. He's not actually invincible, but I'll get more on that later. So as you can see, if I don't do a quick jump at all, you can see it's just a much slower animation. But then if I do a quick jump now, you can see it's much faster. So we have died. It's game over. So yeah, there's no way to win this fight unless you hack, and even if you do hack, you'll just crash the game. So yeah. And Princess Peach gets kidnapped in her own castle. So we're not actually in the prologue yet. This was the intro portion. So welcome to Mario's story. And now we're entering the prologue. So in the Japanese version, because that's the version I'm playing, Paper Mario is actually called Mario's Story. But it was renamed in the American version for whatever reason. They just decided, hey, it kind of looks like paper, and you know, there's some paper aspects with it, so we're just going to call it Paper Mario. So another thing to mention, you can run this game on 3 different consoles. You can run it on the N64, which is obviously the original console. You can run it on the Wii Virtual Console, or you can run it on the Wii U Virtual Console, which that is the console I am running on. The Wii Virtual Console is the slowest due to lag. It is faster than N64 in Prologue due to load times, but then there's just so much lag in that version that doesn't end up saving time later on. The N64, it still has lag, but it does not have as much lag as Wii U or Wii VC, but it has slower load times. And the Wii U Virtual Console, it has fast load times, and it does not have that much lag. And it even doesn't lag in some places that it would lag on N64. So N64 is faster than Wii, and Wii U is faster than both N64 and Wii. So we've woken up in Goomba Village, and, well, our first objective is to get out of here and go to Shooting Star Summit, because that Star Spirit told Mario to. So there's a spin cancel you can get off this table right here, so hopefully I can get it. And I did. So that's a little bit faster than jumping, like I mentioned. Any spin cancel I can get, I'm going to try and get. That was a little weird movement. Alright, so we're going to try and leave, but then Kammy Koopa is going to come and stop us from doing that. She realizes that, oh, Mario is still alive. So what does she do? She places a block. I think it was discovered by the Paper Mario community that it is possible to get out of the prologue, or to go on Pleasant Path and get past that block, but then you'd skip out on stuff like Goombario and Power Jump, which we both need. So we're coming up on our first glitch of the run, which is called Junior Troopa Skip. There's normally a fight with Junior Troopa that you face after you get the hammer, but we're going to skip that by doing what is called loading zone storage. What loading zone storage is basically Mario has to be on the ground for 2 frames to take a loading zone. So if you jump into the loading zone and then continue frame-perfect jumps all the way to the bush with the hammer, you can interact with the bush and grab the hammer, and then you'll take the loading zone, skipping the Junior Troopa fight. Okay, I was close, but I didn't get it, unfortunately. Oof, didn't get it again. I'm getting pretty close to it, but then I dropped the loading zone. Alright, not my best Junior Troopa skip, but it's okay, I got it 3rd try. So doing that, if you get it first try, it saves about a minute. Right there, I probably only saved like 30 seconds from it, or I don't know how much I saved, but I didn't save as much as I could have because it was a little slow. But now we got the hammer, and we skipped the Junior Troopa fight. And we do need to collect some coins to buy some items later, and we need to have 50 coins by the end of Chapter 1 in order to buy the Speedy Spin badge, which will allow us to spin much faster than we are now. Yeah, unfortunately not the best Junior Troopa skip, but at least I got it. It is pretty difficult to get because it requires 14 frame-perfect jumps, as well as interacting with the bush, which is frame-perfect, so there's a lot of frame-perfect inputs that you need to do. So now we're getting our first badge, Power Jump, and Goompa's going to want to give us tutorial, but we can just press B, and we can skip the tutorial. You don't actually need to select the bomb option and then press A, you can just press B for them. Not only that, we are also going to get our first partner Goombario. So before we leave, we're going to put on the Power Jump badge, and we're also going to get a Goom Nut, which will be important for later. So this path of Goombas can be a little tricky to avoid, but with certain movement, you can avoid them fine, because this path is pretty narrow. We're also going to be getting the Close Call badge, which will be useful for later. When Mario is at 5 HP or lower, it has a 30% chance that enemies will fail to attack Mario. So now here's Red and Blue Goomba, which is kind of the first mini-boss that's not scripted, because Junior Troopa, even though we skipped him, it is scripted. You can actually lose in that fight if you just do nothing each turn, but for the most part, that fight is scripted. So the Red Goomba has 7 HP and the Blue Goomba has 6 HP. So we take the Blue Goomba out with a Power Jump and the Fire Flower, and we take the Red Goomba out with the Fire Flower as well, and a Power Jump along with Goombario's Head Bonk. I want to kill them at the same time, because if you only kill one of them, then the other will have text, like, crying because their brother is dead, and we avoid that by killing them both with the Fire Flower at the same time. So now that Goom Nut that we got, we're going to eat to regain FP for the Goomba King fight. So there's the Goomba King's Fortress. This fight is pretty unique because it is the only fight where you can attack the tree in the background, and basically the tree has a band-aid, and if you attack that, then it will send a Goom Nut down and do 3 damage to all the Goombas. So it's pretty useful. It's the only fight that has this aspect. So this fight's very easy. We're going to Power Jump the Goomba King with Mario, and then attack the Goom Nut tree with Goombario, and then that will kill the Goomba Bros. So Goomba King can also do this attack, which is actually faster than his regular attacks, so pretty good. And he's dead. Obviously, since it's only prologue, they can't make the first boss hard at all. There's a switch there, and we're going to hit it, and, well, it's going to make the fortress collapse. So there isn't too much to talk about here. For the next couple minutes, it's just going to be cutscenes after we enter a loading zone. But Goomba King is going to get launched into the background. And now, like I said, pretty much for the next couple minutes, it's just cutscenes, so not too much to talk about in terms of speedrunning. I can talk about the story, what's happening, but for speedrunning wise, there isn't too much to talk about now. So Kamikuba goes to Bowser and is like, oh no, Goomba King got killed by Mario. What are we gonna do? And this is where we meet the Koopa Bros, which is the first boss. Not gonna be too hard though, because, well, it's only gonna be the first chapter, and they can't make the first chapter boss that hard. It's funny how they get to space and then back down to the ground so quickly. Like, they somehow got all the way up to space, and then they were able to return to their fortress pretty quickly. So we are now in Toad Town, or Kinoku Town, if that's how you pronounce it in the Japanese version. So we're not really going to be in Toad Town that much, and we're going to just go straight to Shooting Star Summit. Couple spin cancels you can get right here, including this one. Now we can talk to the Star Spirits. So Prologue's got roughly 3.5 minutes left, and for now it's just a couple minutes of cutscenes, so nothing too important to talk about. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll be able to skip 3 Peach cutscenes by doing a glitch with the Star Spirit cards, which I'll go into a little later, and it's really cool. Because we even get to skip the Gourmet Guy one, which is where you bake a cake for Gourmet Guy, which it takes about 4 to 5 minutes, so we get to save a lot of time by skipping that Peach cutscene. Like I mentioned earlier, we don't need to go through all the Peach cutscenes, we just need to touch every Star Spirit card, because basically, if you do the glitch, the Star Spirit will still appear on the title screen menu. So you won't get the abilities, but it will still like appear on the title screen menus. So the Paper Mario community just decided, okay, this glitch should be allowed because it shows that you got the Star Spirit card. So Peach gives Twink the Lucky Star, which is going to be very important to us because it's going to allow us to use action commands. And something to, I guess, note about action commands is when I do quick jumps, I can no longer just mash the A button. I need to actually time my action commands now, or time my quick jumps. Here's Twink, he's going to give us the Lucky Star, and he's also going to say, hey, you want to know how to use it? But we already know how to use it. So we're just going to say, no, we don't want a tutorial. So now Magic Koopa decides to fight us, but we can take him out with 2 power jumps. It actually saves a couple frames to block this attack, so it kind of saves a couple frames to block any attack. So most of the attacks that will get, most of the attacks that will go for Mario, I'm gonna try and block. There's not gonna be too many attacks that will go for Mario because later in the run I'm going to be getting the Mega Rush badge, which Mario's gonna be at 1 HP, so I really don't want to get attacked at all. So coming up is a glitch called Black Toad Skip. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip out of bounds with a green toad. I'm going to fall onto the post office seam, and then I'm going to maneuver onto the back seam of the Toad Town, or the Toad House, and then I'm going to fall into the loading zone. Now there's a little bit of luck involved with this toad staying on the this side, which luckily he was nice to me, so that's good. I'm going to fall into the seam. I should get it. Oh, a little bit of difficulties, but I should still get it. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that was a little weird, but I got it. So that's Black Toad Skip. So it skips all of Merlin's shenanigans, and we can go straight to Koopa Rose Fortress. Well, not exactly yet. We still need to get Cooper in order to actually go to the Koopa Rose Fortress. So you can actually get a little cutscene skip there. I didn't get it, but if you grab the POW block at the same time the switch is falling, then basically you'll just skip that cutscene, which saves a couple seconds. I'm still collecting coins because I'm going to need coins to buy some items, and I'm also going to need 50 coins by the end of Chapter 1 in order to buy the Speedrun badge. So all the Koopa shells are getting stolen, but we're not going to help them at all because you actually don't get any reward for helping them. You just kind of get their satisfaction or their gratitude. So in the shop, we're going to buy 2 POW blocks and 2 fire flowers. These are going to be useful a little bit later on. And now, like I said, we're not going to be saving any of these Koopa shells, but we will be saving Cooper's shell because he is a partner that we need to get to Koopa Rose Fortress. There is actually a trick they can do to skip Cooper and this entire village, but it is unfortunately not possible for a human at real time. It is a tool-assisted speedrun trick only, or a task trick, so it is impossible for a human to do. So now coming up is a little fuzzy mini game, and it has some RNG involved, which RNG stands for random number generator, which means luck. So it's going to bounce a certain amount of times into each tree, which is luck. Alright, so I got 11 in the 4th tree. That's not the best. He can bounce 7 to 12 times, so that wasn't the best. Alright, so 11 again. That really sucks. Alright, 10. That's not the best either. So that was not the best RNG, but it's okay. And also, something interesting, if he bounces an even number of times, he'll either be in the same tree or 2 trees over. And if he bounces an odd number of times, then he won't be in the same tree or 2 trees over. He'll be on one of the other ones, depending on what tree he was in originally. That's just a little fun fact. And now, Cooper's going to join our party, because we got his shell back. But the Fuzzies are going to want revenge because we got the shell back. But they have 3 HP, and we can simply kill them with a Fire Flower. And now we can leave Koopa Village, but we are going to get a couple things before we leave. We're going to get this HP Plus, which is going to be useful for later. And we're also going to get 1 Bush Coin, which is crucial for us getting 50 coins later at the end of Chapter 1. And I completely missed it. And now we can go to Koopa Rose Fortress. There aren't too many glitches in Chapter 1, but there are a couple that we will be doing. So we're going to get this Thunderbolt that we're going to be using either in Chapter 1 or a little bit later on after Chapter 1. Kind of depends on what happens. Now this Paratrooper can be a little trolly, but looks like he's going to let me get past. He can sometimes be in the very middle and just guard that bridge, and no matter what you do, he will hit you and you can't get past him. It's pretty annoying when it happens. Luckily it didn't. So now we're going to heal up this heart block so we can fight a forced fight that we're going to need to get into. Basically, every enemy that you see, I'm trying to avoid getting into an encounter, because getting into an encounter wastes about 10 seconds, but bosses, obviously I have to fight. And there's also some fights, like this one, that they are forced. I can't do anything about them, I need to fight them. So I will be avoiding every extra encounter I can. So for this, we power jump the Koopa, and then we do an untimed power shell because the Bob-omb has 3 HP, and Koopa only does 2 with his charge attack. So we just let the bomb blow up in our face. So now we're going to be getting a badge called Power Bounce, which this combined with the Mega Rush badge is going to allow us to do a lot of damage to bosses and let us do quick work of them. So it's going to be very useful later on. So now coming up is a trick called Staircase Skip. So this is going to temporarily skip the pit fights because it's actually faster to get Bombette. What I can do is I can clip through the floor like this, and then I can fall to the top level and enter the door. And that skips all the pit fights, but we will be fighting them after we get Bombette because it is slightly faster than if we were to fight them now. And a funny side effect of doing that glitch is the door right here stays open. Alright, so I really want whatever valuable item is in this item block, so I'm going to take a couple seconds out of the way just to get it. Oh no, I fell for the trap. Dang it, I always fall for it. Quite unfortunate. Now here's Bombette. She's going to be useful for some of the fights here in Chapter 1. So that's pretty cool. But before we talk to her, we're going to heal. And now we can blow up this wall. So we're about to fight another forest encounter, which we will quickly take care of with a Fire Flower and Bombette's Body Slam. So by using this Fire Flower, the Bob-ombs will blow up instantly. And then we can do a fully charged Body Slam, and that will kill this Koopa. So now coming up, we're going to fight the pit fights, and we're going to have to do a little strat with Bombette, where we bomb the first Paratroopa. It is a little tricky, but it's not too hard if everything works out, so hopefully I can get it. There's a little setup I can do. Hopefully it works out. It also kind of is different depending on when the Paratroopa notices you. So he noticed me right away, so alright, it worked. There we go. I'm glad I got that. You have to basically let Bombette blow up depending on when the Koopa notices you. If he notices you right away, you kind of need to blow her up as he's rising up, if that makes sense. And now this fight is RNG because we're going to have to use this Fright Jar. So hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, we're just going to be losing a little bit of time. But it worked on both of them, so that's really good. And now I need to bomb this last Koopa, which worked out pretty well. So this was a really good pit fight. Everything pretty much worked out. Like, everything worked out. So the backup, if you either get a Fright Jar fail or miss the bomb of the Paratroopa. Also, our first level up, we're going to level up FP there. Oh nice, mushroom drop. So basically the backup is you use the Thunderbolt that we got earlier, but it loses a little bit time because it's a little faster to use the Thunderbolt in a fight later on. So we're going to spin over here before we collect all the coins because it's a little faster. Alright, I got all those coins. That was pretty close to not getting all of them. We need all these coins without losing time. Like, if we don't want to lose time later on, we need to collect all these coins, which I should have all of them, which I did. Alright, that's good. Now, before we continue on the fortress, we need to get the key that's back here. We need to backtrack a little bit to get this key. Because the door that we skipped by doing staircase skip is... I don't even know how that happened. Okay, that was weird. But the door right here that we skipped is still locked, so we need 2 keys in order to unlock this one and the one upstairs. So that was a little weird. So I tried to grab the key with my hammer, but then I ended up spinning right before, which I want to avoid spinning into an item because then that happens and it delays when you grab the item. So I don't know exactly how that happened, but I guess it just happened. So now coming up is a trick called Pie Jump, which was named after the speedrunner I Ate Your Pie who found this. It's not so much a glitch, it's more of just a little trick that you can do. So instead of hitting the switches, we can just jump around the wall. And we can do the same with this one. And there you go, those were really good pie jumps. Doing that saves around 18 seconds. It saves about 15 seconds for the first one and 3 seconds for the second one. And if you fail it, you lose 30 seconds, and you have to take the walk of shame all the way back. So now we can continue on in the fortress, and we're about near the end, only a couple more minutes of Chapter 1. There is a glitch in this room that you can do to actually skip rising the staircase, but unfortunately it's tasks only. So now the bullet bill patterns is random except for the first one. So I want to hopefully not get into an encounter here. Alright, so there we go. So we're going to instantly encounter these bullet bill blasters, and then we're going to take them out with a POW block. They have 4 HP, and we want to basically make up for the experience that we lost on Junior Troopa, because skipping Junior Troopa wastes, or you skip out on 20 experience. So in order to fix that, we just kill the bullet bill blasters and we allow them to shoot through the bullets. Now we're going to collect all these coins, and we have 50, and now we can go fight the boss. And now we can fight the Koopa Bros. So this is Bowser with 4 question marks. Has 10 HP and 1 defense. So he's not too hard, but then after this we can immediately fight the Koopa Bros. And like I mentioned earlier, it's usually faster to guard attacks, but for whatever reason, not blocking that attack or blocking it, it doesn't make a difference. It's both, like, it doesn't save or lose time. And now we can actually fight the Koopa Bros. So they're gonna stack up in their little tower, and normally you have to attack them twice to knock them down, but we can just use Bombette's ability and instantly knock them down. And now from there we're going to use a POW block to keep them down for another turn, because if you don't use the POW block, then they will instantly get up the next turn. And then we're going to use a Fire Flower, and that will kill all the Koopa Bros. And there we go. And as you can see on the back of Bowser's shell, It has a picture of Princess Peach. That's something pretty funny. But here's the first of 7 Star Spirit cards. So there we go. And unfortunately, we do have to have a Peach cutscene. So, yeah. So we get to control Peach, which, well, it's kind of cool, but it's still slow. So we're sneaking around and we end up finding Bowser's diary, so we're gonna read it to get information about where the next Star Spirit is. But I already know where the next one is. The next one's in Chapter 3 in Telebow's Castle, of course. So I guess I might as well spill this. We do not complete every chapter in order. The order we do it is we do Chapter 1, Chapter 3, Chapter 5, Chapter 4, Chapter 2, then Chapter 6, 7, 8. Because that's how you play this game, right? So yeah, pretty much it's faster to save the Star Spirits in that order than in the normal order. And Eldstar's going to try and throw us with one last tutorial, but we're gonna say no. And now we're going to make our way back to Toad Town. It's a little bit of backtracking, not too much to talk about here. We will, however, be getting this honey syrup that will be a little useful later on to regain FP. So now, we have no idea who this is, but this kid just randomly wants to pick a fight with us, so yeah. Obviously this is Junior Troop, but we skipped him, so we don't really know him. But we're gonna lie and say that we do know him, because it is faster. So this fight's pretty easy. All we're gonna do is we're gonna do a power jump, a thunderbolt, and then 2 bombs. So this fight's slower if you actually do not have the thunderbolt, which is good that I got to keep it. Alternatively, you'll use the alternatively you would use the oh, I just messed up. All right, well, that's what I get. Okay, so yeah, that's not good. So I meant to actually use the Thunderbolt there, but then I just got distracted for some reason. So this fight was just as slow, unfortunately. Wow, that's funny. Like I said, what you normally do is you power jump, you bomb, then you use the Thunderbolt, and then you bomb, and the turn ends right there. Or the fight ends there. But unfortunately, I got distracted and just power jumped for no reason. That was my bad. But alternatively, if you don't have the Thunderbolt, you'd use it, like, you use the Thunderbolt for, the Paratroopa if the Fry Jar fails. So now we have to deal with some RNG and hopefully Speedspin is there, which it is. There's 4 badges that can be sold at this point, but 3 that are only on display. So Speedspin has a 75% chance of being there, which luckily it was there. So yeah, normally if you don't have the Thunderbolt there, you would do 2 power jumps, 2 bombs, and a hammer. Which is kind of what I did, but I used the Thunderbolt instead, so I just didn't have it for later. So we got the first flower seed, and now we're going to be going to Chapter 2, but like I mentioned earlier, we're not going to be saving the Star Spirit card quite yet. The only reason we're going to Chapter 2 is we need a couple things, including Paracarry. So now while this cutscene is going on, I'm going to switch controllers to my classic controller, which is going to be useful for a trick that I will be doing in Chapter 2. So we are now in Chapter 2. And like I said, we're just going to be getting a couple things. We're not going to be here for too long. So as you can see with Speedspin, we spin so much faster, so it's definitely worth getting. So in Chapter 2, we need several things. We need a Whack-A-Bump, we need the Chapter 2 seed, we need Damage Dodge, and we also need Paracarry, of course. So we will be getting 1 Whack-A-Bump. Don't worry, we're not going to be hurting Wacka that much. So we only need 1 Whack-A-Bump. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start explaining the next trick because it is pretty complicated. So the next trick coming up is called Paracarryless Seed or Early Seed. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm basically going to be remapping my controller with the classic controller and to basically consistently hold a certain angle that I want. From there, I'm going to be doing something called hammer cancel jumps, and then I'm going to spin, and if I do the right amount and I get the right angle, then I will clip out of bounds, and then from there I can maneuver out of bounds and get the seed. So hopefully I can get it quickly. Alright, that's a bad angle, so I'm gonna go ahead and try again. Alright. I'm out of bounds now. And I can maneuver out of bounds and get the seed. So that was really good. So doing that saves about 25 seconds, but it saves a whole minute in the any % category because during Mount Rugged you do not have Speed Spin in the any % category. That's the only reason I need my classic controller now, so I don't really need it for anything else. And now we're going to get Damage Dodge. And then we're going to get the last letter we need for Paracarry because Paracarry decided to lose all of his letters. So it's a little faster to use Cooper there, but it's only faster if you you see down once, and if he's not there, then you just grab the letter normally. Sometimes Cooper just decides not to respond. It's pretty weird. Now with this, we can give Paracarry all of his letters back, and then we can leave Chapter 2, and then do a very game-breaking glitch. So now we got all those letters. He's going to ask to join our party, which we're going to say, sure. Now before we head back, we're going to heal with this heart block, because we're going to need to have the FP refilled. And coming up is a trick called the Blue House Skip, which is a very broken trick. It's going to allow us to go into Chapter 5 early. We're only going to go to Chapter 5 for a little bit, just to get some things we need, and then we will go to Chapter 3. So this trick is frame perfect and nearly pixel perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically jump on a piece of the blue house and then get a double jump, which, like I said, is frame perfect. And then from there, I can clip inside the blue house because there is no collision on top of the blue house. And then from there, I can grab the key and enter the pipe and go to Chapter 5 early, which you're normally not supposed to. You're supposed to not get to that pipe or unlock the blue house until after Chapter 5. So we're going to be going to Chapter 5 a couple chapters early. So hopefully I can get this. Ah. Oh man. Oh man, this is not good blue house skip. Jeez, that was a pretty bad blue house skip, but that's okay. So yeah, as you can see, I got the double jump twice, but I didn't clip inside the house. Basically, I just didn't hold the right angle to clip inside the house. That was a little annoying, but it's okay. Now, before we enter Chapter 5, we will have to fight Blooper, which is also going to demonstrate power bounce caps. Now, basically, so you don't abuse all the bosses, the game will randomly cap you at a certain point. The lowest you can get is 8, which is probably the worst. Ideally, you want to have a 13 and a 12 cap on the first 2 turns. So 9, that's really bad. That was not good at all. So I've done 11 damage so far, and Blooper has 30 HP. I'm going to go ahead and bounce real quickly, and then I'll explain more. That's really bad as well. So there's 3 types of bloopers you can get. You can get 1.5 turn, you can get 2 turn, or you can get 2.5/3 turn. So I'm gonna get 3 turn right here, which is pretty bad. I got a 9 and then a 10 cap. I think that's what it was. That was not the best blooper, but it's whatever. And now I'm leveling up again, which I'm gonna level up FP. And now I can go to Chapter 5. So like I said, we're not going to complete Chapter 5 just yet. We're just here to get a couple things, and then we'll go to Chapter 3. So here's Colorado. We're not going to save him because he can save himself, as you can see. So this game is based around triggers. And hitting a specific trigger is done by either entering a certain room, talking to a specific NPC, or collecting a certain key item. Basically, talking to Colorado there is now tricking the game into saying, alright, I'm in Chapter 5. So basically what I'm going to do later is I'm going to revert the game back to Chapter 3, and then I'll be able to complete Chapter 3 and get the Star Spirit card. There are many triggers in this game, and I'll be abusing that a ton. So here's Sushi. Sushi wants our help to save the Yoshis, but we're not actually going to save the Yoshis. We're just here for Sushi and then one more thing, and then we can leave. The Sushi's gonna join our party. She thinks that we're gonna find the Yoshis, but we're actually not. So now, I need to get this badge, and I have to do a little bit of slight movement in order to get it, and avoid this encounter, which I did, so that was really good. So that Power Quake badge we're going to immediately equip right now, because it's going to be useful for a couple of forced fights. So now we have everything we need, so we're just going to leave Chapter 5 and go straight to Chapter 3, which can be done by going through the Chapter 3 pipe here. But we will have to fight some enemies, so with the Power Quake badge, we can easily take care of these guys. And I'm going to get First Struck on purpose, because I want to get either at 1 HP or 2 HP. If I'm at like any more than 2 HP, then that's really bad, and I can get hard drops. I'm basically trying to get as close to peril as I can, And if I'm at 1 HP, that's great. If I'm at 2, that's also fine. But if I end up getting more heart drops, then that's really bad. So I want to avoid all these heart drops. And unfortunately, I did not get a flower drop. So you want to try and get a flower drop there, which I didn't, so I need to eat that honey syrup. Like I said, I'm getting first struck on purpose, but I'm also collecting coins after the battle. I want to have around 18 to 20 coins after this, after these fights. So now from here, I'm going to eat that jam agility we got, and I didn't collect that heart, so that's good. So I'm going to eat that jam and jelly and get first struck once again. But during this fight, I'm also going to switch to Bombette for a trick that's going to come up. Bombette is pretty useful for this glitch, and it is faster to switch, swap your partners in battle than it is outside of battle. So hopefully I don't get a double heart drop on this fight. With those last Dark Koopas finished, we can enter Chapter 3. Alright, I got 1 heart drop, that's completely fine. I'm glad I didn't get the second one. Alright, I got enough coins, so that's good. So now coming up is a trick called Record Skip, which skips the record minigame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Bombette and then do what is called an NPC push. I'm going to push this boost slightly to the left. And then from there, I'm going to spin and jump in a certain way to interact with the chest. So hopefully I can get this. So I don't know if I pushed it. I might have to do another one. You can push them as many times as you want. Oh, there we go. I got second try. So you can push it. You can push the boo as many times as you want. I usually go for 1 and then go for it. But you have to hope it's a good enough push. And you can sometimes tell he'll slightly move. But from there, I just could not tell. But that was really good. I got second try. So that saves about a minute, which is really great. So I didn't actually say this, but we actually don't need bow at all in this run. So for all the bow lovers out there, sorry, but we're going to be skipping bow immediately after we get the super boots, using another loading zone storage trick. So during the opening animation of the chest, we're going to switch to Paracarry. And now this minigame can be a little trolly, so not including the first throw, the boo can throw the boots 6 to 10 times. So let's see what I get. Alright, 6. That was really good. That's the best RNG I could get there. Now we got the super boots. So now with that, we're going to leave the mansion and do bow skip. So bow skip is pretty much using another loading zone storage similar to Junior Troopa skip, and is going to allow us to skip the gate. So yeah, see ya, Bo. So we're also gonna get that super shroom. We're gonna need it a little later on. And now we're gonna do bow skip. So like I said, it's pretty similar to Junior Troopa skip, except for it's only about 7 loading zone storage jumps, and it's also going down instead of to the left. Now before I do it, I'm going to need to get that strange leaf because I had to use the honey syrup, so alright. Alright, so that's good. There we go, I got first try. It's a little awkward because you have to bounce over the bush, but luckily I got it. Alright, so right here, as you can see, Bo is here, but she's not actually with us. She's just kind of appearing right now. So coming up is a trick called Stanley Saved, which is going to allow us to save Stanley and skip a cutscene. I'm going to save here because it's possible to softlock on this trick, and it's very rare to happen, but I'm just going to be safe and do it. So Paracarry is a pretty broken partner in terms of glitches, so we're basically going to fall out of bounds. And okay, that didn't work. I'm surprised. And we skip the cutscene. That saves about 25 seconds. So it was really good. Probably didn't save as much time because obviously I saved before. But again, I just wanted to be safe because I've soft locked during that trick before, and I just rather not take any risks. And now we're about to enter Tubblebubble's castle. So normally you need bow to avoid these guys, but you can actually just use Speedy Spin's ability to get past them. Hopefully, alright, I didn't get first struck, so that's good. So now we're gonna get the key here. And we're going to be upgrading Paracarry. So now we're purposely going to get caught by the guard here, because it's actually faster than backtracking through the castle, because we need to get to the front entrance anyway, to unlock the to unlock the door. So it's just faster to get caught by the guard. So we're gonna unlock this door, and we're also gonna be eating the strange leaf, because we're gonna need to have 12 FP for the next fight. So right here you can get a bunch of spin cancels on these stairs. And I'm at low HP, so I want to be careful and not get first struck. One first struck, and I'm dead. And good, I didn't get cards. So you normally have to use bow for this room, but like I said, speed spin. Oh, come on. Okay, so something that's kind of happens on Wii U is angles kind of screw up sometimes. So that's what happened. I did not mean to spin to the left at all, but my angles just screwed up, and I did anyways. So that kind of sucks, but it's okay. But yeah, you normally don't need bow for that room. Or you normally use bow for that room, but you can just use speed spin and get by it very quickly. You can also use Paracarry right here, and he'll just kind of hover, and you can get onto this bed, which we need to, because right here is the very overpowered badge Mega Rush, which you do 4 extra damage when you're at 1 HP, which I am, so that's really good. So you can do a little bit of sneaky movement to get past that clubber. Now we're gonna get the honey syrup, or the maple syrup, my bad. And now normally you also need bow for this room, but again, speed spin is overpowered, so we can just skip Tubbleblubba. Alright, so not all of them woke up. I usually wake up the bottom ones when I spin past them, but unfortunately I just wasn't in the correct position. Now we're about to open that chest, but then uh-oh, Tubblebubble's coming, but he's just gonna take a nap. The Tubbleblubba is invincible. We cannot hurt him no matter what, but we need to basically find out his secret, which the secret is that his heart is actually not in his body and it's locked in a windmill. So yeah, we have to go beat the heart. And now Tubbleblubba woke up, and well, we need to run. So we're pretty much going to be backtracking all the way to the windmill, and then we're going to beat the boss inside there. Tubbo is gonna break his castle. Oh no. So right here, you can actually get an input on screen if you just mash a bunch of random buttons. Hopefully I do. Nice, I got a little swag jump. And now we're going to do a thing called Quick Escape. Now you can do a little bit of movement here to avoid Tubba Blubba. And then you can use Paracarry to fly over, and you can just go immediately to the entrance, which saves a couple seconds. It is pretty scary though, because obviously you have the risk of getting caught by Tubba Blubba, so you just gotta be careful. And now, coming up here, if you're fast enough and you get good RNG, you can actually get a little tech skip here, but again, it is kind of random, so we'll see if I get it. You have to be fast, but you also have to just get lucky. And I got it, nice. So there's normally text there, which basically Tubbo is saying, I smell delicious booze, let me out of here. So yeah, now we're just going to spin all the way back to the windmill and fight Tubbo's heart. And you can get a couple spin cancels off of these hills, which are pretty cool. You can also get a little spin cancel off here, which I'm going to try and get, which unfortunately I did not get. And now before I actually go into the room with the heart and fight the boss, I need to make sure I equipped Mega Rush and Power Bounce. And then we will be seeing how much damage we will be doing. So there we go, we got Power Bounce and Mega Rush on. And now we can fight Tubba Blubba's heart. Now you can see how much damage we can do with Mega Rush and Power Bounce. So for this fight, we need either a 6 and a 4 bounce, a double 5 bounce, or we can win with a 5 and a 4 bounce, but then we have to just do an extra shell shot. So I already got 6 bounce, so now I just need a 4 bounce. And now he's gonna run away. Now he's going to run all the way back to Tubba Blubba, and we simply just have to kill Tubba Blubba, which he only has 10 HP, so he's very easy. The heart has 50 HP, but he runs at 45 damage. So, yeah. And now we can go kill Tubba Blubba. So here's Tubba Blubba. He was scary at first, but now we can just kill him. And now we're going to be getting another level up, and we're going to level up BP this time. So coming up is a trick called card loading zone storage, or card LZS for short. Loading zone storage short is basically just LZS. That's what speedrunners call it. So basically, doing this is going to allow us to do loading zone storage similar to Junior Turbo Skip and Bo Skip. Also, Bo's right here, but she's not actually with us. But we're basically going to do loading zone storage all the way to the card, and we're going to interact with the card. And before we take the cutscene, we're going to take the loading zone, and then we're going to collect the card, and it's going to disappear. But we won't actually take the Peach cutscene, so it is really great that we can do this, because we can skip three Peach cutscenes using this glitch. So I'm going to equip Power Quick and Speed Spin, and I'm also going to save, obviously just to be safe. So you need about 6 or 7 loading zone storage, so let's hope I get it. Alright, so I didn't get first try. Alright, so there we go. Second try, that's not too bad. So as you can see, I collected the card, it's gone, and we can just continue on. So now we're going to go to Chapter 5. Like I said, we do not beat the chapters in the right order, so we're just going to go immediately to Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is going to, right off the bat, have a bunch of glitches. So something funny, if you look in the background, you can see that, well, we have double sushi. So now, we're not going to save the Yoshis. We're going to be doing a trick called Raft Skip, which is actually the first Japanese exclusive trick. It can be done on the English version, but in a different way. So we're going to clip with Parakarry in the background with these trees. We're going to fall underneath the loading zone. And from here, we can maneuver across the seam. And we can fall underneath the lava and go to the volcano. And that skips a whole bunch of quests for saving the Yoshis and then getting going to Raph. So yeah, it saves a lot of time. Like I mentioned, it was patched in the English version, but there is another harder way of doing that glitch on the English version, but it's just so much easier on the Japanese version. And now coming up is a little trick called Early Cycle. So if I'm fast enough, I can make the early cycle on this platform, which saves about 15 seconds, and I got it, so that's really good. Like I said, Chapter 5 is just really broken with a bunch of glitches. So let's go ahead and continue on. Oh, I almost hit that spring. Oh, did not mean to go that way. So now coming up here, we're going to be getting a hidden life shroom here. And then here is a trick called Lava Puzzle Skip. You can just maneuver around like that, and you can skip the whole lava puzzle. And now we're going to be getting the Ultra Hammer, so we're already only a couple minutes in Chapter 5, and we're almost at the very end. Chapter 5 is just full of glitches. It is also a very laggy chapter on N64, and it's so laggy on Wii Virtual Console. Like, it lags a ton. But since I'm on Wii U, it does not lag nearly as much. So now we have the Ultra Hammer, and we can continue on through Mount Lava Lava. So coming up is a little glitch to quickly get into peril. What I'm basically going to do is I'm going to repeatedly hit the fire bars, but as I'm hitting them, I'm going to basically press C, the C stick in any direction, and it will cancel out the animation of Mario burning. So now I'm in peril. So now coming up is yet another glitch called Flare Carry, which was named after the speedrunner Flare. And you can also get a tech skip if you do it from far away, so I don't think this is going to work, but we'll see. It was close, but it didn't work. But basically, you can clip in the loading zone with Parakarry, and I didn't get it, so that's cool. There you go. And during this cutscene, I'm going to switch to Sushi. And now I'm going to go fight Lava Piranha. So Lava Piranha is probably the first fight where caps kind of matter. Power bounce caps just kind of matter. Ideally, I can get a 6 and a 5 cap, and that would save a bit of time. But what I'm looking for is either 2 5 bounces, a 5 and a 4 bounce, or a 6 and a 5 bounce. Alright, so I got 5. So now I'm going to do an untimed belly flop. And I'm going to die on purpose, which is why we have the life stream. But then I'll get put instantly back into peril by not guarding any of these attacks. So now I just need another 5 mounts. And there we go. So now we're going to the second phase of La Prana, which is pretty easy. All you need to do is you just need a 4 bounce and a 3 bounce. Before we do that, we need to squirt. Okay, so I got 3 cap there, which is pretty rare, so hopefully I don't get 3 capped again, because then that would really suck. Getting 3 capped is pretty rare. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Alright, good, that didn't happen. Alright, a little scary, but at least I got it. So now, unfortunately, there is no card LDS you can do here with the Star Spirit card. We actually need to complete the chapter in order to get the Flower Seed. So we do have to, unfortunately, go through this Peach cutscene. But that's chapter 5. Another chapter done in only a couple minutes. So there we go. So before we enter the Peach cutscene, we are going to have to do a couple things, aka we need to escape the volcano that's erupting. We're going to have to use Bombette to escape, so Bombette's going to save our lives. Now we're going to go through another Peach cutscene, which there's not too much to talk about here. Alright, so this is a pretty long Peach cutscene, unfortunately. We're gonna have to take a quiz, which something interesting is, basically, there's 10 questions for this quiz, and if you were just to mash A for the quiz, you would actually win the prize, which is a Jam and Jelly, and then you get a prize for participating, which is the Sneaky Parasol. So we're actually going to lose the quiz, or like fail the quiz on purpose, because it's faster than getting a Jam and Jelly. We're basically making it end in a tie. You have to sneak around, get past these Koopa trolls. You waste a lot of time if they catch you. Now we're going to take the quiz. So the first 9 I'm just going to mash A, but the second one or the last one I'm going to answer wrong. On purpose. So here's the last question we're going to answer wrong. And then it ends in a tie. And the Hammer Bro decides to give Peach the sneaky parasol and even says, don't use it, but here's how to use it. Like, don't use it to sneak around, but here you go. So now we're going to get a couple things before we leave Chapter 5, and then we're going to go to Chapter 4. So we're just going to real quickly get the seed before we leave the chapter. Also, a side effect of doing raft skip is the Yoshi kids are gone, and they're gone forever. Well, that's actually not true. You do see them at the end of the game, that they're, for whatever reason, fine, but yeah, we killed the Yoshis, which is kind of messed up because I'm a Yoshi, but I'm the adult Yoshi, so I survived. So we get the treasure that Colorado wanted so bad, and in return, he gives us the flower seed. And now we're going to leave this chapter and go straight to Chapter 4. Oh, okay. That was pretty interesting. So now, the game just thinks that we completed Chapter 5. And it's triggered until after Chapter 5. Now, it's going to say right here that we're in Chapter 4, but that's actually not a trigger at all. So, to trigger the game, and revert it to Chapter 4, we're gonna have to get the frying pan. But before we do that, we're going to really quickly make a whole loop around to hit the blue station switch to complete the track. Reason we do that is because for whatever reason, when you revert the game back to Chapter 4, it does not revert the switch back. So we'll be able to go straight to the red station. So from here, gonna really quickly switch to paracarry. And we're going to complete the track. And now we're going to go to the pink station to get the frying pan, and that will revert the game back into Chapter 4. So now, since we didn't enter Chapter 3, or complete Chapter 3, Kamikupa spawns just a random enemy there. It's always the same if you don't actually do the cutscene. It's always a fuzzy, and I think it's always the most powerful one. But now we're gonna use paracarry and clip inside, and doing this allows us to skip luring the Shy Guy. It saves a couple seconds. And now we're gonna quickly take out these fuzzies with the Power Quick badge. So you may have noticed a little bit ago that I lured the Fly Guy in a certain way, and basically the glitch I just did to skip the like luring the Shy Guy, you can do it again to keep this Fly Guy away, but the Paper Mario community kind of found out you can do that lure, and it's actually faster to do that lure and then hit the switch normally, and then you won't get hit by that Fly Guy. The reason why we did that glitch to avoid the fly guy originally was because we didn't want to get first struck and lose 10 seconds. But by doing that, you can consistently avoid it. So now I'm at the red station, I'm going to hit the heart block, and I'm also going to save just in case I get really bad RNG. So there's an early cycle you can get here, but it's also a little bit of RNG, and I do not think... Actually, this might be it, so... no, well, it's not it anymore. Okay, so, yeah, I'm losing time now. Basically, if you get it, it saves about 4 seconds, but unfortunately, I'm not going to get it at all because I didn't jump. So that kind of sucks, but it's okay. So I'm not in peril yet, but I'm going to manipulate myself to get into peril with the Lantern Ghost. For this fight, I need a 5 and a 4 bounce, but it very rarely happens, but what can happen is you can get double 4 capped, and there is no backup, you just die, so that is why I decided to save, because if it happens, I can just reset. So I do need to block one attack, which I did right there, and I'm also going to switch to Goombario. Yes, Goombario is actually useful for this fight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Head Bonk on the Lantern to light it up enough for where Mario can power bounce. Alright, good, I got 5 bounce, so I don't need to worry about getting 3 capped, because I don't think it's possible to get 3 capped on this fight. If it is, it's very rare, but I've never seen it happen before. I think the lowest cap you can get is 4 cap. And I got 4 caps there, but that's okay. And now we save Watt. So Watt's a pretty useful partner with, like in terms of battling, because she can pierce defense, and she also has Power Shock, which we're going to be using in a couple fights. And when upgraded, she has her Turbo Charge, which boosts Mario's attack power by 1 for a couple turns. So we are going to upgrade her right away with this upgrade block. And then we're going to go fight General Guy. Alright, so General Guy is going to be pretty easy boss. He does not actually have that many, that much HP, but he does have a couple forms that he will do, which you'll see once we get there. We're going to switch to Watt again. And we're already in peril, and we have enough FP for the fight, so we are in perfect shape to fight Gourmet, or not Gourmet Guy, General Guy. So, General Guy is going to have 3 phases before, like, we actually get to attack him. Here's the first one. We can simply take him out with a jump, and then Watt's ability right here. And you may notice that there is still slightly a little bit of lag. Chapter 4 is really laggy on N64, and it's even worse on the Wii VC. On Wii U, it doesn't lag as much, but you can still notice a little bit of lag. But again, Wii U does not lag it much. Like, it just kind of lags slightly. So now to take these guys out, we're just going to do a Power Quake. And these next guys, basically we're going to jump on one of them, And then we're going to power shock the second stack so it doesn't kill Mario. Now we're going to power shock this stack. And then we can jump on them. And so we don't die, we're going to be using our repel gel here. Now there's two attacks that General Guy can use. He can give us a bomb attack, or he can give us the lightning attack, which is really slow. So here's the lightning attack, it's really slow. Hopefully, he will give us bomb though. And luckily, we do not need a very high cap for this boss. We only need a 4 cap. This boss does not have that much HP, it has 30 HP, and he's giving us the lightning attack again, so pretty slow, but it's okay. Now from here we're going to just jump on it, and then we will kill him with this, with what? And there we go. So now we're going to be getting another level up, and we're going to be leveling up FP once again. So now coming up is the second card LZS type we can do. Now, I'm going to actually take the time to backtrack to the save block. It's pretty far away, but I don't want to risk failing this, because even if you store the loading zone, you have to touch the card in a specific way. If you touch it in the wrong way, then you'll still take the Peach cutscene, even if you store the loading zone. Basically, you need to touch the card while you're in the air on the way down. If you touch it while Mario is jumping up, then you'll take the loading zone. If you touch it when Mario is standing on the ground, then you'll also take the Peach cutscene. So, I've had many runs where it's failed before, and it really sucks. So I'm just going to play safe, and I'm going to save here, so I don't have to fight the boss again. This one is probably the easiest, but it is a little difficult if you're playing on Wii VC. Alright, did not get it first try. Alright, there we go. Second try. Both of them second try so far, so glad I got that. Just wanted to save to be safe, of course, because failing that, I'd lose 5 minutes, and it's just not worth it. And now we're finally going to go, after such a long time, we're finally going to go, we're going to go complete Chapter 2. Before we do that, though, we're going to have to make a quick detour to Forever Forest to get the last Flower Seed. So you may notice, even though I touched the Star Spirit card, it's still in, like, you can still hear the music is, in, like, Chapter 4's theme, because basically it's overran by the Shy Guys. But, like I said before, doing card LZS doesn't actually update your story progress. The game still thinks I'm in Chapter 4, but since you touch the card, it, for whatever reason, like, it still, like, appears on your title menu, like, on the title screen, that you collected the card. So you can get a couple spin cancels off of these, walls here. I'm trying to go for them. I got one at the start. Let's see if I can get another one. So there we go, I did get another one. It's, again, faster than jumping normally. Let's see if I can get this last one. Alright, that was a little slow. I did get it, but it was a little slow. Now we got the Flower Seed. Now we're going to go the wrong way, so we can go back and go to Chapter 2. Now, we're not going to go to Chapter 2 through Mount Rugged. We're actually going to go fight Electro Blooper. So Electro Blooper is a very easy boss, and we're basically going to be fighting him so we can get to Chapter 2. So at the start, we're actually not going to do anything and just let him attack us. I do not need to block anything, luckily. because he will do 4 damage, and then with his, when he charges up with his shock ability, I can jump on him, and that will do 1 damage, but it will also get rid of his electric ability. So that does 1 damage, and now the next attack, he will put me in peril. And from here, all I need is a 5 and a 4 bounce, which I cannot get capped at any of those, so it's really good. Actually, wrong. I'm pretty sure I can get capped at 5, but you can't get double capped at 4. Going to switch to Paracarry because he's going to charge up again, but you can get rid of it with Paracarry Shell Shot. There we go. And now we can go to Dry Desert. So we're going to immediately go and enter Dry Ruins. Now, like I said, the game is still in a Chapter 4 state, so Chapter 2 is already going to be completed, but I'm going to be hitting a trigger in Chapter 2 in order to revert the game back to Chapter 2, and then we'll be able to complete Chapter 2 and beat the boss and collect the card. So Ruins is already completed. Now we're gonna enter. So basically, it's faster to go into this chapter when you're in Chapter 4, because then you can skip doing a bunch of puzzles. And I spun to that key, unfortunately, but that's okay. And I can also do a couple things early, like since I have the Ultra Hammer, I can go into this room and get the Pyramid Stone. Now, I do want to avoid any heart drops from this battle, because I want to stay in peril. So hopefully I do not get any heart drops. If I do, let's hope I don't collect any. Alright, so there were a couple heart drops there, but luckily I didn't collect any. And I do not need any more coins because I've got 30 coins, which is the perfect amount I need to buy items. And now, since we got 2 keys, we can actually skip these forced fights here. As you can see, the text is still there, but the Ruins is still completed. As you can see, all the puzzles are completed, so yeah. So we can quickly make work of these stone chomps by just doing untimed power quakes. But in the case of the first one, we could just jump on them. Now, hopefully no heart drops. Okay, good. So now we're finally going to revert the game back into Chapter 2. And the way we're going to be doing that is we're going to be getting the Super Hammer. Which, luckily, we can skip this entire puzzle and just break this block. So you may be thinking, wait a minute, we got the Super Hammer now, but we don't have the Ultra Hammer. Don't you need the Ultra Hammer for the rest of the game? Well, you actually don't, and you will see why we don't later. You do need the Ultra Hammer for one thing, but you actually can do a glitch to completely skip that. So now we're upgrading Bombette. We're going to get the last stone, which is the Diamond Stone. And we can still just do an untimed power quake, and then the stone chomps will die. And hopefully no heart drops. Nice honey syrup. Alright, but we were good. We did not get any heart drops. You waste a lot of time to get a heart drop, because then you need to get back into peril. So the game is back into Chapter 2, so we can complete the fortress. Or not even the fortress, the dungeon. So Toon Koopa is going to be very easy because he does not have that much HP, and we have Mega Rush, so we can quickly take him out. It is possible to get 3 capped on this boss, and it's very rare. It's about a 2% chance, but it has happened to runners before, and there is luckily a backup if you get 3 capped, but it's just so rare. It's just hilarious when it happens. So ideally, you need a 4 cap, but let's hope. Watch if I get 3 cap. Alright, I did not get 3 capped. And then from there, all we need to do is jump on Toon Koopa twice, and that will kill him. And there we go. So now coming up is the last card LZS, which it only requires about 2 loading zone storage jumps, but this one's a little tricky because the loading zone has a ceiling over it, so you kind of have to adjust your timing. So I will be saving because the save block's not out of the way at all. Let's do this card LZS. Did not store the loading zone. Alright, first try. Really good. So card LZS's went pretty good. Both the first 2 were second try each, and then this one was first try. So now we're going to leave the dungeon, and now we can go to Chapter 6. Now, it doesn't actually matter what point we are in the game, since we are, actually, it does not work if you're in a Chapter 4 state, but since we have all 4 magical seeds, we can just go plant them, and then we'll be able to enter Chapter 6. So we're going to be going back through the sewers in order to get back to Toad Town, because we also need to buy a couple items in the item shop. Which is why we need to collect a bunch of coins. And go through the loading zone, please. So the reason we got so many coins is because we need to buy 7 Thunderbolts. Yeah, not even kidding. We need to buy 7. Wait, that only seems like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, that's only 6. Wait, 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I messed up somewhere. Uh-oh. That's not good. I think I messed up a little somewhere. I think I was supposed to have 35 coins, but I only had 30. Uh-oh. It's okay. I can try and fix it later. I completely forgot about that. It's okay. I'll be able to fix it. Oh yeah, I just missed it in my notes. I was supposed to have 35 coins, but I only had 30, so that kind of sucks. Don't worry, I'll back it up. It's all good, don't worry. I was just not paying attention to my notes. Whoopsie, it's okay though. At least hopefully I can back it up. I'll find a way. Alright, so now we're entering Chapter 6. So we're gonna have to fight all these moles, which we can do by doing a power quake, an untimed power quake, and a power bomb. So we're gonna be fighting the bottom right mole first. Then we're gonna do a power bomb. And for this, we're going to be leveling up BP this time. Oh gosh. Jeez. Oh wait, I'm thinking I actually go to the top left, yeah. Or top right mole. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to power bomb. And then they're going to get me into peril. And then I can just do a power quake from there. This fight's very easy. Just jump on it twice. And the last one, we're just going to be doing the same thing. Untimed power quake and power bomb. Now we're going to equip power jump and switch to paracarry. We're also going to be getting a red berry. Now we're going to go give the red berry to the red plant. And now this room, a lot of speedrunners like to refer to it as the death room. There's a bee here, and bees that first strike you, they do 6 damage, and I'm at 1 HP, so yeah, it's also pretty narrow, so you have to go through this room a couple times, 3 times in total. So yeah, you need to be very careful. So I'm getting 1 yellow berry to eat and then 1 to actually give to the yellow plant. Alright, so that's the first time we avoided the enemies just fine. Now we're going to continue on. We're going to talk to Lily, who needs her water stone back. Oh, say yes, please. Yeah, of course we'll give it back to her. Or we'll go get it back to her. That's what I meant. Now we're gonna get another blueberry, or a blueberry. We're gonna fly using paracarry here. And I want to stay at 4 HP, which I did. So Chapter 6 doesn't really have that many glitches. It's kind of more gonna be like, kind of like the glitchless category. You just have to do it as fast as you can. So here we're gonna hit this invisible coin block because we're gonna need to get that item in a bit. So we're gonna shell shot the first Lakitu. And then we're going to use the wait, no, my bad. We're gonna use Starstorm. Oh wait, no, wow. I'm bad. Okay, I messed up my notes again. I was supposed to get that shooting star, but I didn't. I wasn't supposed to use Starstorm there, but it's okay. Okay, so now we're gonna use Starstorm again. So I messed up my notes a little bit. That's okay though. So I wasn't supposed to use Starstorm twice there, but I did anyways. And now I'm leveling up again, and I'm gonna level up BP. I think it's actually a little better that I did that though, because I can actually kind of fix stuff since I forgot a Thunderbolt. So I know exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm gonna go ahead and get the shooting star anyway. I was supposed to get it before, but it's okay. I'm gonna get it now. So now we're going back to the death room, which it's not so deadly now because I'm actually at full HP, but it's still deadly enough. And this is the last time I have to go through the death room, and we got by. We got out of there alive. Now we got the Water Stone. And now we're going to go back to Lily and give it to her. You can get a little spin cancel there. And now we're going to place the Water Stone. There we go. And as our reward, we're going to be getting the Miracle Water, which will be useful for us to plant the magical seed. Or the magical bean. Whatever it's called. Like I said, we mostly have to do everything in order for this. There is a glitch you can do in chapter 6 that is used for any percent, but we can't use it in all cards because we have to actually do everything in order. I'm gonna go up here. Now there's a very annoying bee right here, and it has a chance to first strike you / encounter you. If it encounters me, that's whatever, but hopefully it does not first strike me. That would really suck. Alright, so don't do it, bee. Alright, we're good. Ooh, that was close. Okay. Oh, man. They're going to be getting another shooting star here. Going to be useful for later. They're going to bomb, and we're also going to spin up the staircase. And now we're going to go fight Lackluster, or Spike. And Lackluster is going to be our last party member we get. Just funny thing about this game is characters that would normally be Mario's enemies are Mario's friends. Even though we have to fight Lackluster, it's like Goomba, Koopa, Lakitu, Boo, like they're all Mario's enemies. Yet they join Mario's party because they're the nice versions. Alright, so I do need to block all 3 of these attacks in order to get into peril. The strategy is pretty much power jump, shell shot, and then you have to do a 5 bounce or a 4 bounce, and you just have to do shell shot. So hopefully I get 5. Alright, we're good. There we go. So now Lackluster is going to join our party. And we do forgive. Now there's 4 different options here. The fastest is just the second one, which is World Peace. So now we're going to eat the Super Shroom that we got a lot earlier in the run. And we're going to go fight the enemies that are producing the clouds. Now we'll go ahead and save because I haven't saved in a bit. There's nothing too risky about this fight coming up, but just rather be safe. There's a little puzzle here that we need to do. Nothing too hard. We just have to hit the green one, then the purple one. Then we go hit red, green, and we hit green again over here, and then purple. We're gonna get this Hidden Thunder Rage. It's normally used for the fight coming up, but we're actually going to do this a little differently. We're going to use the Shooting Star. Now I do need to block most of these attacks. Actually, never mind. We don't need to block any of them. We'll be completely fine. So normally you use the Thunder Rage on this battle, but since I kind of messed up with some stuff, like, I didn't buy another Thunderbolt. I was supposed to buy 7, and I only bought 6, because I didn't have enough coins. I just backed it up a little bit, and, well, everything should be good now. And now we're going to eat that Whack-A-Bump that we got. And we're going to destroy the Rough Puff machine. Or the Huff machine. Oh, my bad, I messed up. I ate the Whack-A-Bump early. I was supposed to equip HP+. Alright, I have to do a little bit backup. Man, I'm missing my notes. I apologize. But it's okay. As long as I have a backup for it, I'm going to be fine. So I'm going to count really quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. But I do have the 7 quote-unquote Thunderbolts that I need. So I'm good now. At least I'm backing these up relatively well. Like, I messed up twice, and, well, I'm going to back them up. So, normally I don't have to do this, but because I did it on accident, I'm going to need to get a red berry. I was supposed to wait to use that Whack-A-Bump until I equipped it HP+. So I have to get this a little bit as a backup, but that's okay. Again, at least I'm backing it up. So now we're going to plant. And it's another boring cutscene, so there's not too much happening here. It's just the seed growing. And I will be saving before this fight, just in case something goes wrong. Will waste a good amount of time if I have to reset, but again, better to be safe. So right here we're going to be getting Super Jump Charge. Now, something that kind of saves a little bit of a second, it's actually faster to go through this loading zone and then come back, because it saves a second on the cloud cycle. Going to be getting Super Jump Charge, and we're going to equip this along with HP+, and then this is where we would normally use the Whack-A-Bump, but because I messed up, I'm going to be eating the bubble berry, or the red berry that I got earlier. And now we're gonna go ahead and fight Huff and Puff. So we're gonna be using Super Jump Charge a lot. And we're not going to be blocking that attack at all. So we're going to Super Jump Charge 3 times, and then we're going to bounce for 5. So this next attack I do need to block, so hopefully I do. And I'm also going to be swapping to Paracarry. There we go. And now I need a 5 bounce or a 4 bounce. Alright, got 4 bounce, but that's completely fine. It is possible to get 3 capped, which is very rare. It's about a 2% chance. But luckily I didn't get it. And since we got a Spy Spawn, we are going to be leveling up, which we're going to level up BP again. So, not too bad of Chapter 6, other than kind of the mistakes that I had to fix with not buying an extra Thunderbolt and also kind of doing some different things, but that's all good. And there is no loading zone storage for this. It is possible to do it, but it's like really hard. And it wouldn't even save time if you did it. So it's just faster to collect the card. So we've got 6 Star Spirit cards now, and we only need 1 more. So this is probably the longest Peach cutscene. It's really boring. You have to sneak around, so there's not that much to talk about at all. So sit back and enjoy the Peach cutscene. So we do need to sneak around and use the Sneaky Parasol. Now, normally, you have to use that Koopa Patrol down there, but you can actually do a little setup where you can just get it from right there. And he won't even notice you. So during this cutscene, I'm just consistently holding down B so I don't accidentally switch back into Peach. My hand is just anchored on B. It's funny that they don't even notice Twink following that Koopa Patrol. Aren't they going to be a little suspicious that a little star is following this Koopa Patrol? Alright, so there we go. We are finally done with this Peach cutscene, which is the longest one. And thankfully, the next Peach cutscene, all we have to do is just hold B. So, really great. So coming up, normally to get into Chapter 7, you have to talk to Merlin, and then you go through the blue door. But that's slow, so we're not going to be entering Chapter 7 the normal way. We're actually going to be doing a glitch called Peach Warp, which is a very broken glitch that that you can use in any percent, and it also saves time on all cards. Basically, we're going to warp to the next Peach cutscene and skip an entire chapter, but since this is all cards, we do have to actually trigger the game back into Chapter 7 by entering the palace, and then save the Star Spirit. So you'll see what I'm talking about. But before we do the glitch, we're going to go and get the Ultra Boots. Now, I mentioned earlier we don't need the Ultra Hammer for anything, That's actually a little bit of a lie. We need it to get the Ultra Boots. So you may be thinking, wait, how are you going to get it now? You don't have it. There is a glitch coming up called Clippy Boots. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be riding on Lackluster and then opening the partner menu while encountering an enemy. And then I'm going to get what's called Clippy mode. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically be in this mode where I can jump onto the Ultra Hammer block and then clip into the loading zone with Lackluster. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So I need to get Clippy mode first, which is frame perfect. And I got first try, nice. Now I need to run away. I'm going to switch to Sushi, and now I've got Clippy mode. I'm going to switch back into Lackluster. And from here, I can just jump on this block. And clip in the loading zone. That was really good. Really good. And now we can get the Ultra Boots. There you go. A little slow movement, I didn't mean to do that. I just kind of got distracted. Alright, so now we're going to be doing the Peach Warp glitch, which all you need to do is go to Chapter 5. So yeah, I don't really want to go to Chapter 7, so I'm just going to go do Chapter 5 again. You know, seems normal, right? So you have to go all the way to the end of the mountain in order to do this glitch, so not really too much to talk about, just need to backtrack all the way to the end of the mountain. Luckily, we do not need to wait for this cycle because we can just ride Lackluster. So it's actually faster to, instead of riding the lava with Lackluster, to actually just go here the normal way and then ride the lava. But you want to avoid the flames. It's actually faster by about 2 seconds. So for the Peach Warp glitch, basically, after you complete Mount Lava Lava, the bottom where the boss is, in this room, it is completely filled with lava. What we can do is we can inch Mario into this corner, and then ride Lackluster. Lackluster is the most broken partner. Parakarry is pretty broken, but Lackluster is the most broken partner. So we can clip out of bounds and then go into this loading zone, and then from here we can do a Lackey teleport into this little part, and then go into the loading zone. And looks like this volcano is exploding again. Like, it's gonna blow up again. Like, it's erupting. And hey, it's the 5th Star Spirit again. We're saving her again. So yeah, this is a very broken glitch. It allows you to skip, in any percent, the rest of Chapter 6 and all of Chapter 7. It is very broken. Since this is all cards, though, we will have to actually beat the dungeon of Chapter 7, which we will be able to by hitting a trigger. And chest on chest action. The chest just gets duplicated. So this Peach cutscene, we're actually going to see again after we complete Chapter 7, because, like I said, we can't just, we have to touch every Star Spirit card. We can't just, you know, have the cutscenes with them. We have to actually touch every Star Spirit card, which is why we're going to actually beat the Crystal Palace. So this Peach cutscene's very, very quick, very easy. All you have to do is hold B. And as you can see, the Dupligos are in the background there, because normally when you play this game, you think that the entire thing is a mirror, but it's actually not. It's just glass. So now we're going to enter the palace, and that will trigger the game into Chapter 7. So Chapter 7 is a pretty cool chapter, and the music is just great in this dungeon. It's probably, like, one of my favorite in this game. So coming up, we're going to be doing a trick called Mirror Clip. Like I said, Lackluster is so broken. So, you can do a bunch of Lackey clips. So what we're going to do is we're going to push Lackluster all the way over here. And then while Lackey teleports back, we're going to get on a specific time, and it may not look like anything happened, but I'm in the background now. And that skips the Dupligos fight and a little bit of movement. The funny thing is if you don't get the blue key first, you just soft lock. So, a side effect of this glitch is, Mario's, like, mirror version stays in the background, the entire time. And it will even swap positions with you, which is pretty funny. So now, oh no, we don't know which one's the real Bombette. But luckily, it's always the same. It's always the fourth from the, it's always the fourth from the left. And there we go, we did it. So now we got the red key, we can continue on. I'm trying to spin jump on the Switch and it's not working. So now we can continue on. So now all these are forced fights. We need to fight the Clubbas in order to get rid of the statues in the background. So all I have to do for this is I just need to kill the Clubba, and then the Magic Koopa will get scared and just run away. Now here's another Clubba. We're just going to be using Starstorm for this. And we're going to be using Power Bomb. Now I got one more force fight, and for this fight we're going to be using the Shooting Star. Because Shooting Star is slightly faster than using Starstorm. And then we just come with Power Bomb. And now that all the statues are gone, we can go through the background. So now, I'm going to blow up this wall, and I'm going to get the Triple Dip badge, which is going to be very useful for Bowser, final Bowser. Allows you to use 3 items for the cost of a couple of FP. And I did not do that correctly. There you go. So coming up here is another Japanese exclusive trick called Cooper Skip. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to line up in a way to where I can spin through the loading zone and skip doing this puzzle. It's way too hard, so I'm just going to skip it. Like, it's way too hard. I don't know which one the real Cooper is, so I'm just going to skip it. I believe you have about 2 pixels to work with, so it's not too bad. And let's see if I get it. There we go, I got first try. Really good. As you can see, it's pretty weird because look here, the Dupligos version is it keeps appearing and reappearing, or appearing and disappearing. That's pretty funny. Now we're gonna move the statue out of the way, and we're also going to get P up, D down. And we are also going to get this jam jelly here. It's going to be useful a little bit later. These enemies can be a little, they can be a little tricky to avoid, but so far I've avoided them just fine. So there we go. Now we're going to be switching to Wah. We're going to be using her for the Crystal King fight. And here's a little puzzle that's pretty easy. The way I'm doing it is the fastest way to do it. Some speedrunners don't really think it matters, but it is faster to do it this way. And there we go. So now right here, there's a little bit of a swag jump you can get right here. I did not mean to push that, but you can jump up there and skip doing the stairs. I'm going to hit this heart block. I'm going to take off Power Jump and Power Quake and equipped, what are they called? I'm going to equip Damage Dodge, P up, D down, and Close Call. So for this fight, I need to block 3 out of 4 crystal bits, which won't be too hard. You just kind of have to get used to the rhythm that they attack in. So we're going to be using Super Jump Charge a lot again. And we're going to Electro Dash Crystal Bit, and I need to block 2 of these. Alright, so good, I got both of them. I'm going to charge, and I'm going to do an untimed E-dash there, Electro Dash. I'm going to Super Jump Charge again. And I'm going to Electro Dash another Crystal Bit. And I just need to block 1 of these. And now I'm going to go for a 5 or a 6 bounce. I messed up. Alright, well that's a reset. I messed up because I was not paying attention. Kinda sucks. Well, first reset of the run. That was my fault because I was power bouncing and then I kind of glanced at my notes. So yeah. Alright, so let's not do what I did again. There we go. Now I'm going to level up FP. And there we go. So that fight is kind of different depending on what you get. Also, I need to make sure I split. So if you get a 6 bounce like I did, that's really good. You beat Crystal King right away. If you get a 5 bounce, you just need to do Electro Dash. And if you get a 4 bounce, which is kind of the worst, you have to do Power Shock on Crystal King, which it can be pretty rough. Alright, so yeah, I had to reset on that fight, unfortunately, but that's okay. That was just my fault, because I was glancing at the route, because, like, I have, like, my notes written down, and I just kind of lost track of what was going on, and I just glanced, and that was a bad idea. So we're seeing a little bit of deja vu right here. Yeah, we've already seen this. The funny thing about this run is even with the mistakes, I can still get under 3 hours, which would be pretty cool. I have to get good RNG because something that really sucks about the bow skip route is it puts a lot of RNG at the end. But since I'm on Wii U, I'm going to be utilizing save states since this is just a no reset run with commentary. But it is not like... It's not the worst RNG in the world that you have to deal with, but it's risky enough to where it would be better to show it off using save states. I'm going to be getting this Thunder Rage. And before we leave Chapter 7, we're going to get a Repel Gel that is behind this tree. And those encounters aren't really too hard to avoid. Good thing I avoid them. I'm going to go ahead and take off Power Bounce and equip Power Quake. We're going to need to use Power Quake for a fight coming up. And I'm also going to switch to Bombette. Now, even though we did Blue House skip, we never unlocked the Blue House. We're going to be unlocking it now. We've had that key ever since we did Blue House Skip earlier in the run. And now we've got, since we saved all the Star Spirits, we can go to Chapter 8 and have our showdown with Bowser. The Chapter 8 has some pretty cool glitches that I'll be showing off. Most of the glitches are done with Lackluster because, like I said, Lackluster is a very broken partner. Whoa. Looks like that Ember kind of went out of bounds a little bit. The way to dodge these enemies is to spin up some until they notice you, and then spin away so they don't notice you anymore, and then you can spin right past them. And now we can go to Chapter 8 with this space boat. Or I'm sorry, space bath or whatever it's called. It's not actually called space bath, but it's just a little meme with the Paper Mario community. Off we go to Chapter 8. And now here we are in Chapter 8. So starting off, we have to do a couple things as intended, but then we'll shortly get into the glitches. This Koopa Troll, we are forced to fight to get the key, but we can beat him very easily with an untimed Power Quake and a Power Bomb. And hopefully the key goes to the left. That would be ideal RNG. If it goes to the right, though, it's fine. Which good, it went to the left. So these Koopa Trolls can be a little hard to avoid, but they're not too hard. You can get a little spin cancel off of that wall there. And this door is going to ask, hey, do we want to go through? We're going to be like, yeah, sure. But we're going to go through the floor. He didn't say we were going to go through the door. We're actually going to go through the floor. Also, I'm sorry for how much that rhymed. So before we continue on, we're just going to get this live stream for sitting. Never mind, you can't. I thought I could get that live stream, but I can't. That kind of sucks. Now we're switching to Lackluster, and there's a very important badge I want, so I'm gonna go get it. Not really. There's gonna be a glitch here. which is going to involve using the block. It's called basement skip or block clip, and it's going to skip the entire basement, so it's really, really great. Right here, we're just gonna kind of flip through the block. And yeah. We just skipped the entire basement just from doing that. No spin cancel, rip. And now we can actually go through the door. So coming up is going to be another cool glitch with Lackluster, because again, Lackluster's so broken. So normally this room is very, very, very slow, but we can use Lackluster and even Cooper to make it a little bit faster. So I'm going to switch to Lackluster, and we're going to clip, and we're going to walk on water. From here, we're going to clip back. We clipped back in, and now we're going to clip back out. And we're going to clip back in again, and then we can clip out of bounds here. We're going to switch to Cooper. We're going to fall out of bounds. We're going to walk across this seam, and I want to avoid getting under the water, or else I'll soft lock. So right there, I did what's called a Cooper super jump, which is caused from basically falling out of bounds with Cooper, and I can grab the key, and then from there, I can clip back through here, fall off the seam, and then clip back into the loading zone. And now I'm walking underwater. So you actually soft lock in the other room if you get caught underwater there. So now with Lackluster, I'm going to be doing a trick called Cannonless. Let's hope I can get it. So I'm going to clip out of bounds and clip inside this wall. And I can do some inputs to fall onto the seam pier, and this is why it's called Cannonless. So now coming up is a little strat to avoid this hammer bro coming up here. Normally, what we're used to do was start pushing the block and then just kind of hope and pray that they didn't get hit by this hammer bro. We can actually spin up to it and then lure it down here. And before he gets back, you'll be able to enter the loading zone. So now we're going to have a quiz which is always the same. It's always 11211. Yeah, you want to be careful that you don't zone out here, and you do pick the second option for the third question, or else you'll get it wrong, and then you'll be freaking out that you got the question wrong. Because then you have to fight 3 anti-guys, which is not good. So there we go. Now we can continue on. And we've only got a little bit left in Bowser's Castle. And I will go ahead and save here, because I haven't saved since I entered Bowser's Castle. Ah. So we're going to use Cooper to hit the switch. We're going to get the key. And hopefully this guy doesn't encounter me. Oh, well, dang. First encounter of the run. And good, I ran away. Well, that sucks. I almost had an encounterless run. So the order right here is always the same. It's always up, down, down, up, down, up. So these are the last sets of encounters, so I got 1 encounter this whole run. Man, I almost had an encounterless run. That would have been great. So here's Princess Peach. We saved her. Not actually, though. Alright, so for this we're gonna use up and away. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, I can just use Parakarry's Airlift. It did work, yay. Alright, so now I'm going to take off Power Quake and equip Power Bounce, and then I'm going to switch to Watt. Alright, so Junior Troopa, you have to do a couple different things depending on what happens. Also, wait, hey, it's the Koopa Bros again. Actually, no, it's Junior Troopa that we're going to be fighting. The Junior Troopa, depending on what Power Bounce cap you get, you have to do a different, like, kind of a different thing. They're doing it untimed. And we're going to charge, and we're now going to turbo charge. And hopefully I get a 5 or a 6 cap. Alright, 5, that's perfect. There we go, that's the end of Junior Troopa. That is the last time we had to fight him. Alright, so really good fight. Alright, so now I'm going to eat that jam and jelly. I'm going to take off HP Plus and Super Jump Charge and equip Triple Dip and Power Jump, yeah. Let me go ahead and save here. The Hallway Bowser is pretty RNG heavy. Alright, now I normally don't do this, but I think I might have an extra item due to me messing up with the route. And you're supposed to get a life shroom, and I didn't, so I'm gonna go ahead and really fix that real quickly and get a life shroom here. I might have an extra item due to messing up, like, kind of, it was my fault, but yeah, normally I wouldn't get this life shroom. But yeah, I just think I had an extra item, so I couldn't get it. Like, I couldn't get the last one. Alright, so this is where I'm going to be making a save state, because this fight can be pretty bad. I need to use Power Shock on Bowser, which, it's not the highest chance to work, but, depending on how much you fill the bar, it'll have a higher chance to work. I'm going to be making a save state right here. I'll be making a restore point. I really have to do this because of the RNG. Alright, so that's 5, that's fine. Now I need to Power Shock. And it didn't work. And I died. Alright, I'm gonna actually make the restore point again. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to Power Shock first. So I'm gonna Power Shock first, yeah. There we go, so it worked that time. There we go. Alright, so there's Hallway Bowser. Now I'm leveling up again, I'm gonna level up FP. So I had to use the save state or the restore point, but that's okay. And I should have the badges I need on, which I do. Now we're entering the final Bowser fight. So I just realized I could have actually done a different strat when Power Shock failed the first time, but I just decided to reset and go for it again because, who knows, it probably wouldn't have worked. Alright, so for Final Bowser, we're going to be using the Triple Dip badge, and we're going to be using some of the Thunderbolts. Now, I really want to hope that I get Fire. If I don't, then I'm going to have to use Triple Dip again. So if I get Fire and I block it, that's really good. And I didn't. So that's okay. So now I need to do Triple Dip again and use Thunder Rages again. Now Bowser's gonna use Star Beam. Alright, so here comes the hardest fight in the game. Not really. But pretty much all you have to do is mash A for this fight. Oh, I was supposed to hold B. My bad. So we're gonna power up Twink, and he's gonna be able to do damage to Cammy. And now we can kill Cammy. And now Peach is going to use everyone in the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, everyone in the Mushroom Kingdom is going to pray to the Star Spirits and give them their power. And this whole cutscene on Wii VC is slow as heck. It's so slow. Alright, so we're fighting Bowser again. So I'm going to be making another restore point. Again, I wouldn't really be doing this unless I had to, and I do need to. Okay, so I need to hope that he gets me fire and I block it, or I need to get butt stomp and I don't block it. I just realized Bowser gave me butt stomp in the like on the last phase, but I just blocked it anyway and just went for the backup. Alright, so give me fire. That's really good. Alright, that's good. So now I'm going to triple dip again and use the 2 Thunder Rages. And I'm also going to be using the Repel Gel. Don't use the Life Stream. Now I'm going to use Watt's Turbo Charge. And I'm going to Power Bounce. There we go. And good, Bowser did not give turn 3 Peach Beam. That's really bad if he gave it to me. That was a 7 cap. And that finishes Bowser. I'm pretty sure I didn't need to do that many bounces, but there we go. I didn't need to do that many bounces, but I killed him anyways. There we go. With that, that is final Bowser. I got really good RNG on that fight. And there we go. So Paper Mario All Cards. Yeah, with this route, skipping boat, it's pretty risky, and there is some RNG at the end, so that's why I need to use those 2 save states. Luckily, only need to restore it 1 time. But other than that, not too bad. And now, bad stuff is happening with Bowser's Castle. It's going to blow up. Oh no, we're all gonna die. But with the power of the Star Spirits, they will save us. So we gave the Star Rod back to the Star Spirits. So this final time is going to be, I believe, a 257, like a high 257. So that's pretty decent, even though I load a save state. It's pretty decent. Getting under 3 hours is very decent. I will gladly take that. That's only a couple minutes off my PB. So this run was pretty decent, other than the mistakes I kind of made. Some of the stuff I need to fix with the items, but at least I backed it up pretty easily. Now all the Star Spirits fly away, and they don't fly in the order, but you know, doesn't matter. And all this was just Mario telling Luigi his adventure. Told him how, you know, we glitched the game and stuff. Parakarry's delivering the letters that they're invited to Peach's castle. But we don't... Who's she? I don't know who she is. Yeah, rip Bo. We skip only her in all cards. And turns out the Yoshis are completely fine. Even though they were clearly gone, they're completely fine. Now there is one more glitch, well, kinda glitch to perform in the run. It's been debated from the Paper Mario community if this is even a glitch or not. It is called Luigi Skip. You see, we don't like Luigi, so he's not going to be allowed to come to Peach's party. Like, turns out, Peach never actually invited Luigi to her party, so we're just going to kind of skip Luigi, which is very easy. All you have to do is just hold down on the controller. So I'm just holding down consistently right here, and then that will skip Luigi. So yeah, sorry Luigi, but you're not gonna come to the party. So we're just holding down, and Mario takes the pipe without Luigi. Rip. See ya, Luigi. Saves about 10 seconds, so pretty cool glitch. And now, just gonna go to Peach's castle, and then time is when Peach raises her hands. As you can see from the final split, it says hands up. So if you're definitely into all cards, definitely check out Ryoma, who is a Japanese speedrunner of this game, and he is a legend. He currently has a 248.27. That is the current world record of this game. He's pretty legendary. He spent a lot of time in the category. And that's time. 2:57:53. So pretty decent, even with all the mistakes. Sub 3 is definitely not something to complain about. That is Paper Mario All Cards.